What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nico from the EHG community, coming back to you with some more Miitopia. We're gonna continue on for where we're at. Okay, so we just got into the Dark Tower, and now we have to go ahead and try to get higher and higher into the tower. And I'm getting sick and tired of these damn MP candies, and I came, and that was just one freaking game ticket, and it was total ass. But yeah, we're in the Dark Tower. We got all 4 jewels, and we're on our way to do the next mission. We are on our way to continue on with, like, you know, the other missions and everything. So today it's gonna be me, Riley, Leela, and Kobe. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of patterns here. No, but yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna continue going to that tower until then. All right, so we got into a couple of fights. That's new. All right, so what are we doing here? Look out, man! Oh, oh, okay. You tried to take me out. You know what? Poison mist, all of you. Ow. Ow, okay. What an asshole thing to do. Thank you, pretty much. Let's go. Yo, why are they attacking me? Like, they really hate me. Thank you for caring, Kobe. I appreciate it. Oh shit, you pissed off Kobe now. Let's see what happened. Mega explosion. Ooh, damn, okay. Boo. Nice job, Riley. Alright, so we got that done. You guys went ahead and freaking try to destroy me. How dare you? Be ashamed of yourself, nephew. Alright, let's see what we got. We're gonna give it to Riley here today. Oh, iceberg salad. That does not sound delicious at all. Oh, okay, so here's an interesting story. Let me state this. I'm going to state this straightforward, because I always talk about, like, you know, the gaming industry. I talk about, you know, stuff like the gaming companies, gaming business, because that's where my expertise is at when it comes to gaming business, when it comes to like certain areas like that. Now, I had like a disagreement, which most likely it's not a disagreement, it's just a guy who doesn't understand the gaming business. You cannot treat every business the same as the gaming business. Each business is completely different. Each business has a completely different aspect to it. And with having those different aspects, like for instance, like, you know, like the way like to handle a consumer and much more. I think a lot of people forget the idea that, you know, that the gaming business compared like next to the restaurant business, or in general certain businesses, like for instance like retail, slightly different from others. The aspect of business is similar, but one thing that I could say that is different, like for instance like the person that I was arguing with this about was in the restaurant business, which is an interesting business. I say this in this manner because, in my opinion, it is a good business to be in with the restaurant business. The issue with the restaurant business, I think, in my opinion, a lot of people can be in it, and you really don't need to know too much to be in it. But I could be wrong. 100%. I could definitely be wrong on that one. Most likely I am, because every business has like its own specific it has its own specific area where like they have experts where they mention in regards to things like, for instance, and I say this like, for instance, you end up getting, you know, like you have like your own areas where like a lot of people won't know, like, you know, certain ways how to cook something compared to like, you know, somebody knowing how to make a video game and stuff like that. And certain aspects are a lot more, or very difficult, and you have to take time to learn it. But in regards to that, they're two different businesses where, you know, in gaming, sometimes the gaming industry gets screwed over so bad because the consumer has to take some responsibility in the gaming industry. So I'll explain that in a minute. So I'll give you a great idea. Here's one thing I could do. Put this in a perspective. If a game fails, it's not just on the gaming company that, you know, it is created by. It's also based on the consumer. Reason being, oh god, great, Leela's now sick. Now we have to go ahead and get ourselves a third member. Now, for instance, and say if I'm making the next Halo game, and with this, people want the new Halo game, but it's not supported in the way that's necessary. Now, for instance, I spend almost, let's say, $3 million making a Halo game. I need to make that money back. If I don't make that money back, in the process of that, I get screwed over every aspect. Like, for instance, I lose, let's say, the $3 million that I used to make the game, and I also lose out on winning that money back, which means I lost double that. And that comes from the idea of, you know, the consumer. Because now, if the consumer, which as a consumer has a right to buy or not buy a product, there's always a double-edged sword with that situation. Now, with that being a double-edged sword, people don't realize how much and how much that can affect like the gaming industry. No money being put into the gaming industry, a gaming company loses so much money. Now, with that, a gaming company losing so much money, you know, they possibly can't work on the next project. Now, with that happening, especially where a lot of people want things like remasters or remake of a game that they've known for a while, sometimes they won't get it because of the simple fact that, you know, they don't have the money to make the remake. It's not supported. Some people want a remaster of it because, you know, it was a classical nostalgia game, but they don't have the money for it because guess what? It wasn't supported. So a failure of a game goes both ways based on, like, you know, some of the decisions that a company has done, like how Blizzard fucked up Overwatch majorly, or a gamer can fail the game majorly because of certain decisions that the gamer made and the consumer made, just like Concord. So I know some of you are saying, oh, you know, but Concord failed itself. Like, no, Concord did not fail itself. The gamer failed Concord because there was what the problem is nowadays is that there's this culture war going on, in certain areas where some of you guys don't realize that it's really not a war. What it is, it's more of the fact of people don't understand that certain aspects in life actually have existed for a long time. And in my opinion, I think it's very, very weird. So, with that being weird, I don't understand where people it's like to a major extent where, like, you know, how do I say this with gaming? Where Concord failed is because people thought there was something in Concord that has been around for years and years and years in general, in different types of media and in different types of areas. And because of that situation, a lot of people don't realize that without support, you know, a game will not be successful. When you claim things like LGBT or something like having a female character as woke, it's very off. It is very, very off because of the fact that those are not woke aspects. Those are real life aspects that have actually existed. Those things have always existed. Like, the thing that, you know, a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of people being like a game being diverse is extremely important. And I've heard a lot of people like, oh, you know what, they're pandering to the wrong audience. They should be pandering to us. We're the ones that support the company. Yes, they should be supporting those that support the company. Absolutely, 100%, no argument there. The only issue with that specifically is the fact that with a gaming business or a gaming company or any type of business, you also have to go ahead and bring in a wider spread audience. You need to bring in more people to like your product, or even like other things that you bring. Like, for instance, if we have, because we had like the whole console wars thing going on, right? Oh really, I'm dancing and singing. Nice. PlayStation versus Xbox versus Nintendo and everything. One thing I could tell you is that they all sell specifically different things. So if you look at most of the especially most of the actual games or systems, they are all so similar. They're all extremely similar. Like, you have Xbox with, like, you know, first person shooters, adventure type games, and so on and so forth. What pulls a person to be a fan of certain things, especially like things like Xbox and stuff like that, is the ability to bring in an audience for that. Like, for instance, if you're playing Halo, you bring in the FPS audience. If you bring in like, for instance, Fable, you're bringing the RPG fantasy type video game audience. If you like, for instance, let's say Halo Wars, you bring in games that, like, you know, for instance, the tactical based type people playing video games, like tactical games, or like Tropico. You're bringing, you know, people who like games such as like Civ or simulation type games. Like, there are all different types of markets there to bring, and you have to make, not just for gaming but for business in general. That's why you see like restaurants come with vegan meals or like vegan type meals, because guess what, they want to appoint like something for everyone. And that's very important, not just to keep the main people who support your company happy, but also go ahead and get to a point where, you know, we bring other people in. It's like, as I said, it's very important to please the audience that you have already, plus add in more additions to it. You want people, especially in the gaming industry, to be able to be very, if I say to be very, very, like for instance, how do I say this? I would say like you will want people to be very, very, you know, wanting of your product. So in business, as I said, in general, long story short, you want to please your audience that you have and bring in the new audience. And that comes in with many aspects, such as, you know, being, you know, diverse, being inclusive to everyone. I think a lot of people don't understand that inclusivity or inclusivity in certain aspects, especially, you know, in gaming, is extremely important. Now, what I'm gonna say about this, a lot of people don't understand. This goes for the exact same thing we have in crossplay. You want everybody to be inclusive in your video game. Like, you don't exclude certain games or certain areas from, like, you know, being crossplay. Now, if you're trying to sell a product, sometimes exclusivity is a major importance. Now, as I said, one thing about this, as I said, with gaming, it's very, very important to be inclusive to everybody, and that is to get everybody to like your product or to try something new. And this goes for like things like the new Dragon Age, when people are like calling it woke, especially like with something like Dragon Age. It goes to a point where it's like, hey, this has been a woke thing, a woke game for a long time. I don't know where the hell people are coming from with that, but I think people need to understand that gatekeeping a video game, anybody, is wrong in every level. It's wrong. I think people need to understand that being inclusive to people, or being inclusive to anybody based off of race, gender, and stuff like that, is very important. And to bring in a brand new I'd say a brand new audience, it's extremely important. That's what gaming is. Now, for a restaurant, you cannot deny anybody any type of service in regards to like race, gender, or stuff like that. Now, you have to be inclusive in general, because guess what? That's important. Now, as I said, it's very, very important that we get stuff like that. But you know what? I think gamers today kind of ruin that for other gamers. I think it gets to a point where it's just very, very bad. But people don't understand that. So I don't know why that's a very difficult thing, but it shows how the businesses are majorly different. But with that, as I said, like, that was just like a whole little rant about gaming business. Being someone who's in the gaming business, I completely understand where it is, and I completely understand on certain aspects of the gaming business, because that's where my specialty is. Now, if people think of, like, you know, stuff like that automatically, that will stop them to play a game, in my opinion, I don't know what's up with you. I think you're weird if you do that. Like, you see a character that automatically is LGBT and then you just lose your mind. I think it's ridiculous. But otherwise, gaming inclusivity is very important, because they need to get an audience. Now, I think real gamers and real fans of a certain area won't really care too much. In my opinion, I don't think people should care too much. I think people should care less. I think people should understand that, hey, there are aspects in gaming that are gonna happen, There are aspects in gaming that need to be like pointed to for a certain audience. That's just how it is. But otherwise, yeah, that's where the gaming industry is. I think the gaming industry is getting destroyed left and right by the consumer. I think the consumer is destroying the gaming industry because they don't understand the idea of, hey, you need to go ahead and be more inclusive to everyone. That's why things in the gaming industry, in certain aspects of the gaming industry, happen. That's why you get people who are pandered to, and it's very important to do so. But with that being said, I had the argument with this guy. I told him, yeah, your business is completely different from the regular business, the gaming industry. It's not possible to equate the two. It's like trying to equate like things such as retail to another business that has nothing to do with retail. I would say personally, people need to stop equating certain things like that, because guess what? It's completely two different things. But that's just me. What I can say in true honesty is that I think a lot of people don't realize how much failing the gaming industry can do damage to it. Because then guess what? When everybody else like for instance wants certain games, and with that, you try to go ahead and ruin a company because of those stupid choices, and guess what? The games that you want will never happen. And with that, as I said, for that, I think when it comes to that, the gaming industry can massively fail because the consumer can ruin it highly. I know it can go that way for a restaurant if you don't have customers, but with this, it's just a major aspect in business where the customer also has a way to mess up things. Like for any company that actually is doing well, the Ghost company, especially which is Sucker Punch. People want to go ahead and stop it from having Ghost of Yote come out, simply because they feel, oh, you know what, it's getting woke, and you know what, it's not. It's just a female protagonist where female protagonists have existed. And I think because of stuff like that, I think companies have started clapping back, which in my opinion, for stuff like that and stuff of those opinions, I think they have a right to clap back. I think some people, like the consumer, has a right to be clapped at. It doesn't help a company progress for the consumer when you try to have bad criticism. And there is a thing called bad criticism. When you have bad criticism, it doesn't help a company progress in any type of manner. It doesn't have any way to go ahead and help a company, like, get better in any type of way. And it doesn't help a company get to a point where, they want to make something for the consumer. What it does, it just strays a company away from the consumer. In my opinion, as I said, oh goodness gracious, that outfit. Communication with the company and the consumer, like in that aspect, should be a thing, but it also should be limited to certain criticism. Like for instance, I will not take any criticism from anybody. For instance, like if they're just telling me, oh, my videos suck, I'm like, okay, what sucks about my video? What can I change for that to make sure, hey, you get a good then you have a good video right to watch. Now, if you're just saying, oh, because, oh no, it just sucks, that does not help me. That doesn't help me get better. If I have someone doing a video, it's like, hey, no, I just not really into this type of video game. Is there a possibility you could do this and do that? Or like try this title or do this title for me? Like, I could be like, okay, you know what? I'll take a look at this game. Most likely I won't, because like sometimes it's probably a game that I don't play. But I would give it a try, you know? I wouldn't be prone to that. But stuff like what the gaming industry does, I shit my pants. All right, but sorry, that's the guy. Now I'm trying to pretend to be right there here with the hat. Quizmaster. That's cool. But anyway, criticism has to come in certain areas where it's helpful. Being things like, oh, you know what, hey, this is just woke because as a woman or as LGBT, that's not good criticism. Like, a good criticism is like from like Ghost of Yotei. I've heard people say like, oh, I'd rather have been Jin Sakai because I love his story. Okay, great criticism. That is an absolutely great and fair criticism. You like Ghost of Tsushima, and you like Jin Sakai's new character. Absolutely understandable. It's like, you know, if somebody was like, oh, I like Cole better than Desmond from Infamous. Absolutely, 100%. That's a fair criticism. But to say that, oh, the game's gonna flop because it has a female lead. No, come on. And that's not helpful. That's not helpful. Where I'd be like, hey, you know, is there gonna be like, for instance, if like you ask someone and they're like, hey, is there a possibility like you can have DLC for Jin Sakai, like have his armor and stuff out there, like stuff like that. I mean, that is interesting. That is good stuff. That is good aspect. That is good criticism. Like, can we have DLC for Jin Sakai because we love that character? Or is there an ability that we can actually be like, hey, you know what? Let's get Jin Sakai's armor. That is good criticism. That helps benefit. I think, as I said, like a lot of people miss out so much on that, or so much on those aspects to get good things because of the shitty criticism. Stuff like that is not helpful in the slightest, and I tell people that all the fucking time. If you want to criticize a game, make sure it's helpful criticism so they can learn from it or they can grow from it. If you don't, then guess what? They can't take it. They won't take it, because it's like me going into Akira Toriyama's freaking office and I'm telling him, oh, you know what? I think the Dragon Ball Z series sucks. Which it doesn't, in my opinion. Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime of all time. That's where I grew up. And then he asks me, okay, what can we change? What do you want in the series? Do you want a new character? Do you want something new for the character, Vegeta, or this and that? That's helpful. If you're just telling me, oh no, this shit just sucks. It's you know, you need to change it. I could literally just be laughed outside the room. Like, and rightfully so. It'd be like, you came to critique me for no reason just because you don't know what the fuck you want. And that's what the issue with the gaming community is, that they don't know what the fuck they want most of the time. And it just fucking sucks because it doesn't help out any of the gaming companies. Very weird. And you know, like, I think for certain areas of critique, there needs to be something better from the gaming communities. I think, you know, especially when you're trying to be like, oh no, this is woke and stuff like that, that doesn't help out a company. That doesn't help out in any aspect. You're having an opinion on something that makes no fucking sense. Like you're having an opinion on something that's been a thing for a while. I don't know if people understand, but the first and I'll say this, the first LGBT character in general, it was for the Apple II, which was in the 1980s. Having something that's the norm nowadays is not a big deal. It should not be a big deal. But as I said, it's just a weird concept that a lot of gamers nowadays, that they just don't know what they want, and they just cry over things that don't help a gaming community grow, or gaming industry grow, or a gaming company grow. Because then when that happens, guess what? The process, we lose the games that we grew up with, and we don't get sequels, and then we lose the games left and right, because guess what? We give bad criticism. We gave bad ideas of what criticism was, and it just sucks. It just really sucks. I really hope that the gaming community changes. I really hope, like, you know, with that, a lot of people understand where I'm coming from. I hope that people understand that this is a place where I want to see the gaming industry grow, but then I also want to see the gaming community get what they want. And when you also try to stop people from joining into the gaming community, that's not helpful to the gaming industry. It really isn't. So what is the gift that I get for saving 1,800 people? HP Sprinkles upgrade. Alright, nice. The 620 MP Sprinkles upgrade. Ho ho! People are gratitude about awakening. Beacon of hope. You can turn spawning monsters. The next one is 8. Cool. So as I said, I really hope things change within the game. I hope things get better, and I really hope that, you know, the supposed culture war that people are saying that everybody's going through, I hope people understand that that's not a thing, because some of the things that are in gaming belong in gaming. Some of the things that actually were, you know, part of the gaming industry have always been a thing that you guys are claiming that is woke. But that's just me. I'm sorry about this rant. I'm really gonna try to stay off this topic a little bit more, like further, because as I said, like, this is a topic that's very, very important to me, because as I said, something like this should not gatekeep people from gaming. I think gaming should be a lot more open to different people. But that's just me, and whether it's LGBT, whether it's, you know, people who believe in certain aspects or this or that, be very, very open. But with that, definitely subscribe to the EHG community. Definitely turn your notifications for when we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us on our Facebook group, our Discord channel. Make sure to go ahead and check out our merchandise, and then support us on Patreon. But this is Nico from the EHG community. Stay tuned for another episode of Miitopia. Remember that there's always something amazing on the horizon.